is up, YouTube? Welcome back to Barefoot Kasike, putting you onto games. So, I wanted to just jump into this video because I feel like I've been a jack of all trades, if you will, my whole life. And I'm noticing there's like a trend where a lot of people are trying to figure out like how to get to the bag in 2025. And baby, let me tell you, I've been practicing for this moment for the past, I'd say, at least 4 years maybe or more. But yeah, so definitely there's so many different ways for you to make multiple streams of income. Of course, passive streams of income are always stellar, but if you feel like you aren't in the place to be solely reliant on passive income and you want something that could actually, you know, you could put a little bit of effort in, something you could be passionate about and also make a decent amount of money, roadside assistance. So yes, roadside assistance. So come along with me today in the day in the life of a roadside assistant. So actually right now I'm on my way to do a jump start, and let's talk money. So how much am I getting paid for one jump start right now? I'm getting paid $38 and some change to go quickly jump somebody's battery in their car. This is my second jump start for the day. I just did another one for about like $52, and they all kind of vary on how far away they are from your home base, where your business is registered, and also where you currently are at. There's a bunch of different, essentially they're like platforms, so they're almost like, they're not, I don't know how to really like compare it to social media. I mean, you could kind of compare it to different like social media sites, but basically there's these things called motor clubs. So I initially found out about this when I started a towing company, which is a whole nother video, and we had to pivot. So this is why we're doing roadside right now, because it's a part of that same scope of these motor clubs. So you could join. There's a bunch of them out there. There's AAA, there is Urgently, there's Swoop, Ajiro, Honk. Swoop and Ajiro are kind of like the same company. But yeah, so all of these different names that I just rattled off are providers they're companies that provide roadside assistance for different accounts. So for example, like Mercedes-Benz has a partnership with Ajiro, I believe. I haven't seen much Mercedes-Benz since they switched over from Urgently, but I know Urgently still has BMW, Land Rover, Uber, all of the enterprise budget, Hertz, National, all those rental car companies from the airports. Yeah, so there's, and then also different like fleet services, like people who have company cars, or, you know, are a part of like a car share program. Yeah, so anyway, there's all of these different options of, like, for example, you sign up with one of these providers and they'll basically, it's almost like Uber to an extent, where they'll offer you a job and you could like click on it, and basically the only difference with Uber is you just accept it and it just goes based off of your GPS coordinates whether it'll give you the job or not. The one of those motor clubs that is like that, in that sense where you can't really give an estimated time, it's just like you accept the job and it's up to the algorithm whether they award you the job or not, is Honk. Honk is not my favorite right now. Personally, I like working more with Ajiro and Swoop, and I'm on the fence with Urgently because they've just shown to be not the best anymore. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, so you just basically submit an ETA, and then once you submit the ETA, they'll kind of compare it to other providers that have also bid on the same job in your area, and then they'll award it to you. Yeah. So basically, what do you need to start all of this? So I only found out about this because initially the way that I got introduced to the motor clubs was through starting a towing business and having a tow truck and taking tow jobs. So you'll get offered through the same apps, jobs to tow a vehicle from one place to the next. But also they would sprinkle in like jump starts, flat tires, all those kind of fun things, door lockouts. So when I no longer had a tow truck, I had to like crucially pivot and start utilizing what I could, the services I could provide, which is changing tires, giving jump starts, and locking people, like unlocking people's doors when they block their keys inside. So yeah, to start just doing roadside, literally all you need is a pair of jumper cables, a car, and in all honesty, for like flat tires, you don't need any like jacks or wrenches or anything. Like you could literally pull up, and I would say for a good like 6 months I made a decent amount of money with no tools of my own, literally just pulling up to people who don't know how to change their tires and just changing people's flat tires with the equipment that was in their vehicle, that comes with your vehicle in the flat or the spare tire change kit. There were several, you're going to come across certain situations where people either don't have a tire iron and they don't have a jack or something to that effect, and that's where you want to hope that you've made enough or you have the funds to invest in a jack stand, a drill, preferably like a high capacity impact drill, so you'd actually be able to have enough torque to take these bolts off with just the drill, but definitely like a tire iron, and yeah, and then you're off to the races. I mean, for the most part, I always find it better to use the tire change equipment that comes with the vehicle. A lot of them have like little pieces that lock right into the part of the frame where you want to jack the car up, versus using your own jack that you could either place in the same spot, but it won't fit exactly how the manufacturer wanted it to fit, and you could run the risk of like the car sliding off while changing the tire. So if and when you can use the equipment the car comes with, it's usually, I always suggest use that. It's your best bet. Use your drill just to, like, once you've loosened the bolts, like just to get them tightened up or taken off, and then like tighten them up with your hand so you get that extra torque on it. But anyway, yeah, so really all you need is, other than like having a vehicle and like the bare minimum of equipment, is an insurance policy. So you just need a commercial insurance policy that covers you for whatever the stipulation the motor clubs are requesting. So if you go to Urgently's website, or you go to Agiro's provider website, or you go to Honk's website, they'll tell you what level, like what insurance coverages and like what the minimums are that you need for each one of those areas. So you just reach out to a commercial insurance broker in your area. You literally just Google commercial insurance brokerage or brokers, and it'll literally come up with a list, and you just find one that's has the capacity to take on clientele, because I didn't even realize that was a thing. I always thought like an insurance company, they'll just take anybody, you just pay them, they'll take you. As far as like, if they can cover you if you're like not a maniac. No, there's certain ones that like they'll literally, like they're a smaller insurance brokerage, and they're just kind of like we're at capacity with the amount of clients we have, but they'll like refer you to other people who could potentially take you on. So when you finally find that insurer that will cover you, they'll usually require a down payment. I believe I paid $200 or $300 down payment to start the insurance policy, and then once I paid that, each one of those motor clubs are going to require you to have COI, which is a certificate of insurance. So most of these insurance companies will charge you a fee for each one of those particular COIs that they'll make for you, because each one of these separate companies needs to have like a certificate that puts them as like basically lists them as the company that has a hold of one of these policies. So they'll usually charge you like $50 per COI. So I think I paid like $150 for all three of them. So like all in, when I first got the insurances up and running, it was, I think I paid like maybe less than $500 just to get everything up and running as far as the insurances go. But yeah, once you're in there, like I've made probably in the last 6 months alone just off of doing roadside, and this isn't even like 8-hour grueling days nonstop. This is just in between. Like, I just dropped off my boyfriend at work, and now on his way to work, I got a job for $50. And now after I drop him off, hung out in the parking lot for a few minutes, had my little snack, and then I saw one come up. It was maybe, it was like 28 miles away for another $38. So we're already at 50, 60, 70, like we're almost at $90 already. I haven't even been working for an hour. So there's definitely a lot of freedom that comes with that. And then also because it is one stream of income, and it's kind of, you take the jobs that you want to take, it leaves you open to add other things into your day that can potentially make you some more money. So if you're like someone who's doing Instacart or DoorDash or Uber Eats or whatever, or even if you're doing Uber, and Uber is actually a partner with some of these roadside companies. So maybe you're an Uber driver and you've gotten a flat tire, you locked your keys in your car, you had that battery. I'm sure someone who is partnered with Urgently has popped up and came to save the day for you. You could also be that person saving other Uber drivers, and it definitely makes that means to an end, or that hustle, seem a lot less bleak, because you have like this extra cushion of, like, you could be making anywhere between $100 to $300-$400 a day extra on top of whatever you're doing with one of these other like delivery companies. So there's that. Or even if you like work a part-time job, or even if you have a full-time job, if you get out of work and you're like up for it, you want to like spend the night like watching out for calls, it's definitely a great tool in your tool belt to add to your money-making assets of 2025. So that's a quick rundown of that. If you have any more questions, or you guys want more details on that, I'll love to like sit down and break it down and like give you all the ins and outs, and like really like hold your hand and walk you through that potential. So yeah, hit me in the comments, let me know if this is something you guys want to know more about, and I'd be glad to share. Catch you on the next one.